Imagine a world where your bank account grows, not just when you're, at your desk,
Yeah.
but while you're out hiking or catching up with friends, maybe even when you're sound asleep. Sounds like a financial superpower, doesn't it?
Right, it really does. That's pretty much the core promise of passive income, right?
Yeah.
Money that flows in with minimal ongoing effort from you.
Totally different from the way most of us earn, trading those precious hours for dollars.
Yeah, it completely flips the script. Instead of your income just stopping the moment you stop working, passive streams, well, they keep going.
Like, what kinds of things are we talking about here?
Well, the classic examples are, dividends landing in your investment account just because you own some stock, or rent checks arriving because you own a property, even just earning interest on savings you've parked somewhere smart. It's really about getting your money to do the heavy lifting.
Right. And we've actually had the chance to dive deep into a really fantastic stack of sources all about this exact idea. We've pulled out the key insights on what passive income truly is, why it's such a potential game changer, also how you might realistically build it, even from scratch.
And the challenges too, right? It's not always smooth sailing.
Definitely not. The sources covered the inevitable bumps in the road and, crucially, how to make these income streams last for the long haul. So, our mission in this deep dive is basically to guide you, our listener, through the most important bits from these sources, give you a shortcut, kind of, to being well-informed on a topic that could genuinely change your financial future.
Think of us as your guides, yeah, helping you unpack what these sources reveal about making your money work for you. Let's jump right in.
Okay, so let's get right to it. How do the sources define passive income, basically?
Essentially, it's money earned with minimal ongoing effort from the person receiving it. You put in the work or the capital up front, and then ideally, like a well-oiled machine, it just keeps generating income after that initial push.
Right, that minimal ongoing effort seems like the key phrase.
Exactly. Unlike a traditional job where your time, your presence is constantly required, once a passive income source is set up, maintaining it takes significantly less direct time investment.
And the sources mention those classic examples again.
Yep. Dividends from investments, rental income from real estate, and interest from savings accounts. Those are kind of the big three traditional ones.
Okay, so why does this matter so much? What are the big benefits the sources highlight for you listening?
Well, the biggest one is probably financial freedom. It means less reliance on just one salary. That boosts your financial security. Potentially, it could even cover your basic expenses without you being tied to that rigid 9 to 5.
That leads straight into wealth accumulation too, I imagine.
For sure. The sources really emphasize that passive income often generates returns that can compound over time. Think about stock dividends you reinvest or property values going up alongside the rent you collect. It helps you build wealth in a way that just relying on your active income can make, well, a lot slower.
And there's that safety aspect too, diversification.
The sources are pretty clear on this. Relying on just one income source, like your job, is inherently risky.
Now, if you lose that job or, the economy takes a hit.
Your entire income can vanish, just like that. Passive income streams act as a kind of safety net, spreading your risk across different sources.
And maybe the most appealing benefit for many people, time freedom.
Oh, absolutely. That's huge. With more financial security and less dependency on that one job, you just gain flexibility. More time for hobbies, travel, family, whatever brings you joy, really. The sources paint a powerful picture here. It's not just about more money, it's a pathway to a more fulfilling, more liberated lifestyle. Less grind.
It really does sound transformative.
Yeah.
So, okay, how do the sources suggest we actually generate these streams? They outline a few different paths.
Well, there's several distinct ways. Let's explore some of the main types they discuss.
Where should we start? Dividends.
Sounds good. Dividends from stocks. This is one of the most common. Basically, you invest in established, profitable companies, and they often share a slice of their profits with you, the shareholder. These payouts, called dividends, are typically made quarterly.
And the sources had a simple example for this, right? Like 100 shares.
Yeah, exactly. If you own 100 shares of a company paying a $1 dividend per share, you get $100 automatically deposited into your account every quarter, just for holding the stock.
That's pretty straightforward.
It is. And what's really interesting, the sources note, is that many solid companies aim to increase those dividend payouts over time. So your passive income could potentially grow without you even investing more capital.
Plus, you can usually reinvest those dividends automatically.
Yep, reinvest them to buy more shares, which then earn more dividends. It accelerates that compounding effect.
So the benefits are steady income, potential growth, And it helps with diversifying your portfolio.
Precisely.
Yeah.
Then there's the classic rental income from real estate.
Right. Owning properties, leasing them out.
This one usually needs significant upfront capital. That's the big hurdle. But once the property is acquired and you have tenants, it can provide a pretty predictable monthly cash flow.
The source is used a duplex example, I think.
Yeah. Renting each unit for, say, $1,200, that generates $2,400 total monthly income before expenses.
Ah, right. Expenses.
Hmm.
Maintenance, property taxes, the mortgage payment if you have one. Those eat into the gross income.
Definitely. You have to factor those in. But the sources also highlight the big upsides, long-term cash flow potential. The property itself might appreciate in value over time, and there are often significant tax advantages. You can usually deduct things like mortgage interest, property taxes, insurance, repairs.
And depreciation too, right? That's a big one for real estate investors.
Exactly. Depreciation can significantly lower your taxable income from the rent, even though it's not an out-of-pocket expense each year.
Okay, what else? Savings accounts? Feels a bit basic, maybe?
Well, traditional savings accounts, yeah, they don't offer much these days. But the sources do point towards high-yield savings accounts as a better option for this category.
Still pretty low returns compared to stocks or real estate, though.
Generally, yes, much lower yielding. But the key advantages are low risk. They're usually government insured up to a certain limit, high liquidity, meaning you can get your cash out easily if you need it, and basically zero effort required once you've deposited the money. It's the simplest form, really.
Gotcha. And then there was peer-to-peer lending. That's newer.
Yeah, P2P lending, it's grown a lot with technology. These platforms basically cut out the traditional banks. They allow you to lend money directly to individuals or small businesses who are looking for loans.
So how does that work in practice? Like if I lend out $1,000,
The sources give an example. Lend $1,000 at maybe a 5% interest rate through one of these platforms, and you could earn around $50 a year.
but there's risk there, right?
Yeah.
People might not pay back the loan.
Absolutely. The sources are very careful to stress the risks. Borrowers can default. Doing your due diligence, really vetting the borrowers or understanding the platform's vetting process, is crucial.
So higher potential returns than savings, but definitely more risk.
Exactly. But it does let you diversify risk a bit by lending smaller amounts across many different loans to different types of borrowers.
Okay, understanding those different avenues is definitely step one. But if you're listening and thinking, okay, this sounds great, but where on earth do I even begin?
Yeah.
The sources actually lay out a path for building this stuff from scratch.
Yeah, they do. And it all starts, maybe unsurprisingly, with setting really clear financial goals. Without measurable objectives, you just lack direction, motivation.
Yeah.
It's hard to stick with it.
So what kinds of questions should you be asking yourself?
The sources suggest things like, what specific monthly or yearly income target are you aiming for? Put a number on it. What lifestyle changes are you hoping this income will enable? More travel, fewer work hours, paying off debt, and maybe the most critical, how much time and how much capital can you realistically commit right now? Be honest with yourself.
And they had an example goal, like $500 a month.
Yeah, like aiming to generate an extra $500 per month within, say, a year. Setting that target then lets you figure out, okay, which passive streams could help me get there? How much would I need to invest or build in each one?
Makes sense. Goals first, then strategy.
Exactly. The next step is creating that strategy. It's not just randomly picking streams. It's about choosing the ones that align with your goals and your personal comfort level with risk.
And a core part of that strategy is diversification, which we keep coming back to.
Definitely. The sources hammer this home. Don't put all your financial eggs in one basket. Mix it up. Maybe some dividend stocks and a small online venture or some savings, and exploring P2P lending cautiously. It mitigates risk.
Consistency and automation also seem key in the strategy phase.
Totally. The sources frame these as almost non-negotiable. Set up automatic transfers for your investments or savings. Automate what you can. It ensures your strategy keeps moving forward without needing your constant daily attention. Life gets busy.
And yet to learn this stuff right, it's not just instinct.
Oh, absolutely not. Research and education are paramount. The sources stress this. Successful passive income isn't just luck or guesswork. You need to learn about the streams you're interested in. Read books, take courses, follow credible experts online. Knowledge really does reduce risk and increase your potential for success.
The sources even had a simple table structure to help visualize the strategy.
Yeah, just a basic way to map it out. Income stream, initial investment needed, monthly passive income target for that stream, and the time frame you're aiming for.
And the example showed you can start small.
Right. Like maybe aiming for $30 a month from dividend stocks within a year, which might need around $3,000 initially, or maybe $200 a month from a rental property in 2 years, needing perhaps $20,000 up front, likely for a down payment. Or even just targeting $10 a month from a high-yield savings account in 6 months with a $5,000 deposit. It breaks it down into manageable steps.
It shows you don't have to have huge amounts of money right away.
Exactly. Start small, learn, and scale. The final step in the building phase is, well, actually investing, putting your capital into those income-producing assets you've chosen.
So buying the dividend stocks or ETFs?
Yep. Or acquiring the real estate, maybe starting with a REIT if direct ownership is too much initially.
Depositing into those high-yield savings accounts or buying bonds?
Or cautiously lending small amounts via those P2P platforms. It's taking action based on your goals and strategy.
The big shift here, according to the sources, isn't just about making money anymore.
It's about making your money work for you. That's the core idea.
Requires persistence, though, and making informed decisions. It's not passive in the beginning.
Definitely not. But the framework is there to follow.
Now, while real estate and stocks are kind of the traditional routes, the online world has just exploded with opportunities, too.
Oh, massively. The internet gives you leverage and reach that was just unimaginable before.
Like affiliate marketing. That comes up a lot.
Yeah, it's a big one. The basic concept is you promote other people's products or services. If someone clicks your unique referral link and buys something, you earn a commission.
The sources used a fitness blog example.
Right. A fitness blogger recommends, say, health supplements or workout gear they use and trust. If readers click through those links on the blog and buy, the blogger earns a percentage. And the sources mention that percentage can be anywhere from like 5% up to maybe 50% depending on the product and the program.
The big advantage there seems to be low startup costs. You're leveraging existing brands.
Exactly. Plus, it's a flexible work schedule, and the income potential is diverse. It really depends on the audience you build.
Any tips for success from the sources?
Yeah, choose a niche you're genuinely passionate about. It comes across as more authentic. And critically, build real trust with your audience. Your recommendations need to be valued, not just seen as constant selling.
Oh, okay, what about creating your own stuff online? Digital products.
Another fantastic path. This covers things like ebooks, online courses, printable planners, software templates. The list goes on. The key is you create the asset once, and then it can be sold over and over again with minimal extra effort per sale.
Like the graphic designer example. Making social media templates.
Perfect example. They create a set of stylish templates, list them on a platform like Etsy or their own website, and once they're made and listed, the sales can happen repeatedly, even while they sleep.
The big advantage there is scalability, right?
Huge scalability. You can sell it basically infinitely with no additional cost per sale after that initial creation. Plus, you get global reach through the internet. And it has massive potential for truly passive income once it's set up and maybe lightly promoted.
Popular ideas mentioned were things like online courses on Udemy or Teachable, ebooks, design templates.
Yep, those are common starting points.
Okay, another online method. Ad revenue from websites or blogs.
Right, this is pretty well established. If you create content that attracts visitors, you can place advertisements on your site, often through programs like Google AdSense. You earn money when visitors click on the ads or sometimes just from them viewing the ads.
The travel blog scenario comes to mind again.
Exactly. You write helpful travel guides, people visit your site when planning trips, and you generate ad revenue from those visitors, even while you're off on your own travels or just sleeping.
What's the key driver for success with ad revenue?
Traffic. Plain and simple. More visitors mean more potential ad views and clicks.
So content quality is crucial for that.
Essential. Quality content keeps people coming back and attracts new visitors. And SEO search engine optimization is vital too. Making your content easy for people to find on Google brings in that organic traffic.
The sources gave some rough stats on earnings.
Yeah, just to give a sense of scale. Average click-through rates, or CTR, are often quite low, maybe 0.1% to 2%, and average earnings per click, EPC, can vary wildly, maybe from 5 cents to $2 or even more, depending heavily on the website's topic or niche.
So lots of online potential, leveraging the internet's reach.
Definitely. These online routes offer flexible, often scalable ways to build income streams that can really contribute to financial independence.
Okay, so let's say you've got a stream or two up and running. How do the sources suggest you go beyond just having them, to actually growing them, maximizing their potential?
Scaling is the key concept here. It's all about increasing the income from a stream without having to exponentially increase the amount of work you put in.
So like the affiliate marketing example, how would you scale that?
The sources suggest expanding your reach. If you started with a blog, maybe also publish related content on social media, or start a podcast related to your niche, or a YouTube channel. You capture different audiences that way.
What about other scaling strategies?
Packaging your expertise into an online course is one. Increasing promotion through things like paid ads or more advanced SEO techniques. Collaborating with others in your space, maybe cross-promoting with influencers or businesses that serve a similar audience but aren't direct competitors.
And automation comes back in here too, right?
Oh yeah, automation is described as a total game changer for maximizing potential. It's using tools and systems to cut down the time and effort needed to keep things running.
Like the blogger using email marketing software.
Exactly. Using something like MailChimp or ConvertKit to automatically send out a sequence of emails promoting affiliate products to new subscribers. Once you set up that sequence, it just runs on autopilot.
What are the main benefits of automating?
Well, consistency is a big one. It ensures things happen regularly without you forgetting. Time management, it frees up massive amounts of your time to focus on higher level strategy, creating new content, or just enjoying life. And it just reduces the burden of those repetitive manual tasks.
What kind of tools are we talking about?
Things like email marketing platforms, social media scheduling tools like Hootsuite or Buffer, e-commerce platforms like Shopify that automate the sales process. Lots of options depending on the income stream.
And diversification comes up again, not just for risk, but for maximizing potential.
Absolutely. The sources frame diversification not just as a safety net, but as one of the most effective ways to boost your overall earning potential. By tapping into different markets, different revenue models, if one stream slows down, maybe due to seasonality or market changes, others can pick up the slack.
So mixing it up is key. Online courses plus dividend stocks, maybe.
Yeah, or rental income plus an online business selling digital products, maybe some merchandise related to a blog. It's about building a portfolio of income generators, not just relying on one or two.
So maximizing potential really requires ongoing effort in finding those efficiencies and new opportunities.
Definitely, it's an active process.
Now, despite how great this all sounds, the sources are realistic, right? It's not all easy money. There are challenges, pitfalls.
For sure. Passive income isn't entirely hands-off, especially not at first, and there are definite hurdles to navigate.
Managing risks seems like the big one.
Top of the list. The sources are clear. All investments carry some risk. Markets fluctuate, affecting stocks. You can have tenant issues with rentals. Sales performance for online products can vary wildly.
So thorough research before you jump in is crucial.
Non-negotiable. And the sources recommend specific risk management strategies. Diversification, as we've said, is primary. Don't put all your resources into one single stream. Having an emergency fund is vital. A safety net to cover unexpected expenses, a big property repair, a sudden drop in affiliate income, whatever it might be.
And due diligence, really digging in.
Yeah, researching potential investments or online ventures carefully before committing your time or money. For rentals, for example, that means studying local market trends, demographics, understanding property management, best practices to minimize risks like vacancies or bad tenants.
Okay, what about dealing with market volatility, especially for stock investors?
Yeah, volatility creates uncertainty, no doubt. Investments behave differently during downturns. A solid company might even cut its dividend temporarily. The sources stress that preparation and flexibility are key here.
What kind of approaches help?
Staying informed about financial news and market trends is one. Maintaining a long-term perspective is huge. The sources strongly advise against panic selling during market dips, noting that historically, markets tend to recover over time. Focusing on value investing, finding fundamentally strong companies you believe in for the long run, rather than just chasing short-term gains.
And maybe adjusting your mix sometimes.
Potentially. During really uncertain economic times, the sources suggest maybe reallocating some assets towards more traditionally stable investments, like certain types of bonds or defensive stocks, depending on your overall strategy and risk tolerance.
And the last challenge, staying motivated when things are slow. Because they will be sometimes, right?
Oh, absolutely. Passive income streams rarely go up in a perfectly straight line. There will be plateaus, maybe even dips, and that can be incredibly discouraging.
So how do you keep going?
The sources emphasize reminding yourself of your why, those initial goals you set, and also consciously celebrating the smaller milestones along the way. Don't just focus on the final destination.
Any specific tips for boosting motivation?
Yeah, setting realistic short-term goals can help. breaking the big goal down into smaller, achievable steps, visually tracking your progress. Even a simple spreadsheet or an app showing income growth, however small, can be motivating. And this one's important: joining supportive communities.
Like online forums or groups.
Exactly. Online forums, specific groups on LinkedIn or Facebook related to your income stream. These places can provide fresh perspectives, share experiences, troubleshooting help, and just general encouragement when you feel stuck or unmotivated.
So acknowledging these challenges and preparing for them is key to resilience.
Absolutely. It strengthens your resolve and keeps you on track for sustainable success.
Okay, one really critical area the sources dive into, which honestly a lot of people probably overlook until tax time.
Ah, yes,
Right.
taxes, the inevitable.
It's crucial, right? The sources highlight that understanding the tax implications is non-negotiable.
Totally, because each type of passive income is treated differently under tax law, and that directly impacts your net earnings, what you actually keep.
Like interest from a savings account, that's usually just taxed as ordinary income.
Typically, yes, added to your other income and taxed at your regular rate.
But dividends can be different.
They can be. And this is a key nuance, the sources point out. Qualified dividends often get more favorable tax treatment. They might be taxed at the lower long-term capital gains rates, which can be significantly less than your ordinary income tax rate.
Okay. And real estate income, that has its own rules too.
Right. Rental income itself is generally taxed as ordinary income, but, and it's a big but, real estate offers significant opportunities for deductions. Things like mortgage interest, property taxes, insurance, repairs, and crucially, that depreciation deduction we mentioned earlier, which reflects the property's theoretical wear and tear over time.
And those deductions can really lower the taxable amount.
Significantly. They can potentially reduce your taxable income from the rentals quite a bit, which is why the sources strongly recommend keeping meticulous records of all income and expenses. Makes tax filing smoother and ensures you claim every deduction you're entitled to.
So given these differences, the sources then talk about tax-efficient strategies, right? How to structure things smartly.
Exactly. The goal is simple. Maximize your after-tax returns by minimizing your tax liability, all completely legally, of course.
What are some of those strategies? Tax-advantaged accounts come up.
Definitely. Things like Roth IRAs and 401k. While they're primarily retirement accounts, the sources mention them because the growth within these accounts is tax-deferred, or, in the case of Roth accounts, qualified withdrawals can be completely tax-free.
So holding dividend stocks or REITs inside a Roth IRA could be very beneficial long-term.
Potentially, yes. Another strategy mentioned is investing in municipal bonds. The interest earned from munis is often exempt from federal income tax. And depending on where you live and where the bond is issued, it might be free from state and local taxes too.
What else? Deferring income.
Yeah, sometimes you can structure things to defer income, push the taxable event into a later year when you might anticipate being in a lower tax bracket.
Yeah.
This requires careful planning, though, and tax loss harvesting.
Which is?
Strategically selling investments that have lost value specifically to offset capital gains you've realized elsewhere in your portfolio. This can reduce your overall taxable income for the year.
So the sources basically sum it up. Use tax-advantaged accounts, consider municipal bonds, look into income deferral where possible, and maybe use tax loss harvesting.
Right. The bottom line from the sources is that planning for taxes is just as crucial as planning for the income itself. It's about arming yourself with that knowledge.
Okay, you've built some streams, you're managing risks, you understand the tax side, but the journey isn't over, right? The sources talk about ongoing tracking and optimization.
Yeah, it's not set it and forget it entirely. Regular monitoring is presented as essential. It's how you gain insights into what's actually working well, where you should focus your limited time and energy, and maybe which investments or streams need some adjustment or aren't performing as expected.
Like for affiliate marketing, you'd be tracking clicks, conversions.
Exactly. Clicks, conversion rates, total commissions earned, using tools like Google Analytics or the dashboards provided by the affiliate platforms themselves.
What are some practical tips for monitoring?
The sources suggest setting up regular review periods, maybe block out time monthly, just to look at the numbers for each stream. Using simple spreadsheets or financial tracking apps, things like Mint or Personal Capital, are mentioned to track income, expenses, and crucially, the net profitability of each source. And looking for trends over time. Are sales seasonal? Is one type of content driving more affiliate clicks? Are rental expenses spiking at certain times of year?
But tracking is only half of it. You need to act on what you find.
Precisely. The other crucial part is adjusting your strategies based on that data. The sources really stress that flexibility is key here because market conditions change, audience behavior changes. What worked last year might not work this year.
So if a digital product isn't selling well,
You look at the data. Why not? Is the marketing off? Does the product itself need an update based on customer feedback? Or maybe, the sources suggest, you even need to pivot. Perhaps create a related but slightly different product that addresses the need better.
what are some tips for making those adjustments effectively?
Staying genuinely open to feedback is a big one. Listen to what your audience, customers, or tenants are telling you. Don't be afraid to test and experiment. If social media ads aren't working for your affiliate product, try email marketing, try partnerships, try something different, reallocate your resources. If one stream is consistently underperforming despite your best efforts, maybe shift some of that time or capital towards streams that are thriving.
And keep learning.
Absolutely critical. Commit to continuous learning about market trends, new platforms, new strategies. Read blogs, listen to podcasts like this one, take online courses, stay curious.
So the sources really frame tracking and adjusting as pivotal. It's how you optimize for better returns and sustained growth. It's an active process, even for passive income.
Exactly right.
Okay, finally, looking really long term, the sources shift focus a bit from just building income to preserving the wealth you accumulate and planning for the future.
Yeah, because building wealth is one thing, but keeping it safe from things like inflation, market volatility, or just unexpected life expenses is another challenge.
How do the sources suggest preserving wealth?
They recommend regularly reviewing and adjusting your overall investment portfolio, not just the passive income streams, but everything. For instance, as you get closer to needing the money, maybe reallocating some gains from higher risk growth stocks into more stable assets like bonds or cash reserves.
What are the key strategies mentioned?
Maintaining that broad diversification across different asset classes, stocks, bonds, real estate, maybe some alternatives. Keeping that robust emergency fund we talked about. The sources usually recommend 3 to 6 months of essential living expenses, easily accessible. Considering inflation-protected investments, like TIPS, Treasury inflation-protected securities, to help your money maintain its purchasing power over time.
And regularly rebalancing your portfolio.
Yes, periodically adjusting your holdings back to your target asset allocation. If stocks have done really well and now make up too much of your portfolio, you'd sell some and buy more of your underrepresented assets, like bonds.
And then there's estate planning, something many people put off, but the sources say it's crucial for passive income assets.
Absolutely crucial. It's not just for the super rich. Good estate planning ensures that the passive income streams you've worked hard to build can continue to provide for your loved ones effectively after you're gone. It also helps minimize potential taxes and legal hassles for your heirs.
What are the key elements of estate planning according to the sources?
Creating a will is fundamental. Or potentially a trust. Trusts can often help assets bypass the lengthy and public probate court process, offering more privacy and efficiency. It's essential to designate beneficiaries correctly on things like retirement accounts, IRAs, 401ks, and life insurance policies. These beneficiary designations typically override what's in your will for those specific accounts.
And you need to specifically account for the passive income streams.
Yes. Your plan needs to include provisions for how rental properties will be managed or sold, how online businesses will be transitioned or wound down, how investment portfolios will be handled and distributed according to your wishes. And the sources strongly recommend consulting with professionals here, an estate planning attorney, a financial advisor, maybe a tax expert who understands these assets.
They gave an example with rental properties in a trust.
Right. Putting rental properties into a trust can ensure a smoother transition of ownership and income flow to the next generation, avoiding potential probate delays or disputes. The bottom line from the sources here is that thoughtful planning today leads to a much more secure and prosperous future, not just for you, but potentially for generations to come.
Wow. Okay, that was quite a deep dive through these sources. We've covered a lot of ground, from really grasping the concept of passive income and its benefits to exploring all those different streams, traditional and online.
Charting a course for how you can build it from scratch.
Confronting those challenges and pitfalls head on.
Navigating the fun world of tax implications.
Right. And looking at how to keep tracking, optimizing, and then preserving that wealth for the long term.
I think the clear takeaway from all this material is that, yeah, it takes initial effort, definitely. It takes commitment, continuous learning, being adaptable, but creating passive income streams that genuinely contribute to your financial freedom. It's absolutely attainable based on what these sources suggest.
And the sources leave us with some really powerful, actionable tips for building streams that last. Stay committed, especially when growth feels slow.
Educate yourself continuously. The financial world is always changing.
Remain flexible. Be ready to adjust or pivot if something isn't working.
Diversify, build that resilience through multiple income streams.
Track your performance.
Yeah.
Regularly make decisions based on data, not just gut feelings.
And plan for the future. Think about wealth preservation and estate planning early on.
It really is an empowering set of ideas.
It is.
So after exploring all these different angles from the sources today, maybe a final thought for you listening. What's the single most intriguing passive income idea or strategy that resonated with you personally? And thinking small, what's just one initial step you could perhaps take this week to start exploring how to make your money begin working for you?